1787, when the Constitution was sent to the states for their approval, many were reluctant to sign it. The principal complaint was that there was no listing of the rights and liberties all Americans have. So the creators of the Constitution promised that one of the first acts of the new Congress would be to amend the Constitution to include those rights. At the first Congress, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, was written and sent to the states for their approval. Among the rights guaranteed by the Bill of Rights are the rights of people accused of crimes. Many of those rights are found in the Fifth Amendment. One right is the protection against self-incrimination. You're probably familiar with the right against self-incrimination, even if you don't know that it comes from the Fifth Amendment. Anyone who has ever watched a police movie or TV program knows these words. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Those words are called Miranda rights. And while they aren't exactly in the Fifth Amendment, their intention is that no one can be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. It protects people accused of crimes from overreaching by the government and lays out the constitutional limits of what the police can do. While the Fifth Amendment was adopted in 1791, it wasn't until 1966 that the Supreme Court ruled on the right against self-incrimination. It happened in the landmark case Miranda versus Arizona. Ernesto Miranda was charged with multiple violent crimes in Phoenix, Arizona. He had less than a 9th grade education and a history of mental problems. Without an attorney and with no knowledge of his rights, the police questioned Miranda for over 2 hours before he confessed to the crimes. He was convicted based solely on the confession. The case was appealed and eventually reached the Supreme Court, where the conviction was overturned. Chief Justice Earl Warren said the police had violated Miranda's right not to be a witness against himself, a right he didn't even know he had. The decision was also based on the fact that Miranda did not have an attorney. That is a right guaranteed by the Sixth Amendment in the Bill of Rights. To protect the right against self-incrimination, the court created the Miranda rights and said police must read a defendant who is being held and interrogated the Miranda warning. Incidentally, Miranda was retried without the use of his confession and found guilty. Another phrase you might have heard is taking the fifth. This means that a person who is being questioned is invoking his or her rights under the Fifth Amendment and will not make a statement or give evidence that might be self-incriminating. There are other rights protected by the Fifth Amendment. One is the right to a grand jury. A grand jury is a group of people who hear testimony from the government and decide if there is enough evidence to bring criminal charges against a suspect. The Fifth Amendment also protects against double jeopardy. That means that a person cannot be prosecuted twice for the same crime. The Fifth Amendment also states that no one shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Due process means that the government must obey the law and follow all legal procedures and safeguards. When the Bill of Rights was written, the Due Process Clause only applied to actions by the federal government, but that was extended to the state governments by the 14th Amendment, which was adopted in 1868. A final guarantee under the Fifth Amendment does not apply to the rights of the accused, but protects the rights of property owners. It states that if the government takes a person's private property for public use, the property's owner must receive just compensation, fair market value.